All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's meeting. I want to call it to order, and we will start with introductions.
Good evening. I am Christine Smith, Clerk to the Board. Welcome.
Good evening. I am Arlissa Easton, Deputy Clerk to the Board.
Good evening. My name is Yvette Townsend Ingram, also known as Commissioner YTI, and I serve you on the Board of County Commission at large.
Good evening. I am Mecklenburg County Commissioner Elaine Powell. Thank you for staying. Sorry that we're late. And I represent North Mecklenburg, Huntersville, Davidson, Cornelius, and North Charlotte. Welcome.
I'm George Dunlap, and I don't know what's happening with my voice, but I'm elected by the people of District 3. Welcome.
Good evening. I'm Leah Altman, County Commissioner serving at large, and I also serve as Vice Chair.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for being so patient. We apologize to Commissioner Powell's point. My name is Mark Jarrell. I've been elected by the people of District 4, and I also have the honor of serving as chairman of this board.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Arthur Griffin. I have the pleasure of serving as County Commissioner at large.
Good afternoon. My name is Vilma D. Leak, and I represent the most powerful district in the county. 1-2, District 2. And thank you for being here tonight.
Good afternoon. I'm Susan Rodriguez McDowell, and I have the honor of being elected by the people of District 6.
What's wrong with this board?
Good evening and welcome. I'm Mike Bryant, Mecklenburg County Manager.
Good evening, Tyrone Wade, County Attorney.
Thank you. Tonight's invocation will be led, invocation and Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Commissioner Leak.
Let me first say thank you to the chairman for affording me the opportunity to share my thoughts with you. This is February the 4th, 5th, 3rd, whatever it is. And it's called Black History Month. But I'm not dwelling on that tonight because too much is going on. There's a time and a season for all things. And my special prayer that I say to myself when there's trouble in the water, and I say that there is trouble, if not for others, it's trouble for me adjusting to some of the things that's going on. May we bow our heads. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. For he maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, for my cup is runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will continue to dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. May we stand and pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to start this meeting the way we start every meeting with our county mission, vision, and board priorities. Our mission is to serve Mecklenburg County residents by helping improve their lives and community. Our vision as a board is Mecklenburg County will be a community of pride and choice for people to live, learn, work, and recreate. Our FY 26-27 board budget priorities consists of economic development, education, environmental stewardship, health equity and wellness, services for our seniors, workforce development, and reducing racial disparities. Also do want to recognize that Commissioner Meyer did join us earlier for our dinner meeting, but had other obligations. But I do want the community to know that she certainly was present and consistently shows up. Before I turn it over to the vice chair, we do have some items that we need to take up in open session here. And so at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute all documents necessary for the acquisition of tax parcel 193-051-20, plus or minus 11.910 acres from CBS Holdings LLC and Lilly Holdings LLC for a purchase price of $8,650,000.
So moved.
Oh, I'm sorry, there's two parcels to this, excuse me. And tax parcel 193-511-06, plus or minus 18.590 acres from BCSR Investments LLC for a purchase price of $1,350,000, both for the Idlewild Road Park expansion.
Second.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, Madam Clerk. Next, Chair will entertain a motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute all documents necessary for the acquisition of tax parcel 031-152-04 plus or minus 0.364 acres from Robert E. Brown and Linda B. Brown for a purchase price of $131,600 for Riverside Drive expansion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, Madam Clerk. At this time, I will turn the gavel over to our illustrious Vice Chair for awards and recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And at this time, we'll ask Tia Patterson-Poe to please come down, Chair of the Domestic Violence Advisory Board, and Alex Pine, CSS Social Services Supervisor, to make remarks and receive the proclamation. And I will turn to Commissioner Elaine Powell, who will be reading the proclamation.
Whereas teen dating violence is a pattern of abusive, controlling, or aggressive behaviors used to exert power and control over a dating partner, affecting all communities regardless of race, gender, socioeconomic status, religion, nationality, or sexual orientation. And whereas teen dating violence includes verbal, emotional, physical, or sexual violence, stalking, economic abuse, and cyber abuse, with over 50% of adolescents having encountered cyber dating abuse, including online harassment, threats, monitoring, or coercion. And whereas 1.5 million teenagers in the United States say that they have experienced abusive behavior in a relationship each year, with only 9% of teens in an abusive relationship reporting this abuse to a trusted adult. So just think of that, 1.5 million, and only 9% report it. A 2026 survey of Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools found that 90 of 229 students, 39.3%, had unhealthy or abusive relationships. And whereas teens who experience teen dating violence are more prone to other forms of interpersonal violence, such as bullying and gun violence, having an elevated risk for adverse physical, emotional, and behavioral health outcomes, including suicide, depression, anxiety, and substance abuse, as well as a higher likelihood of experiencing relationship violence in adulthood. And whereas teen dating violence requires comprehensive, collaborative violence prevention strategies that address risk and protective factors for dating violence, change norms and attitudes that
Okay.
Yeah. Change norms and attitudes that promote violence and heals the long-term effects of victimization. Now, therefore, we, via Alexander Lyles, Mayor of Charlotte, and Mark D. Jarrell, Chair of the Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim February 2026 and February 9 through 13, respectively, as Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month and Respect Week in Charlotte and Mecklenburg County, and encourage all residents to join in supporting victims and survivors of teen dating violence, promoting safe and healthy relationships, and committing to a future free from abuse. During Respect Week, we encourage all residents to wear orange on February 10th to promote kindness, inclusion, understanding, and support to victims and survivors of teen dating violence. Witness our hands in the official seals of the City of Charlotte and Mecklenburg County by Alexander Lyles, Mayor, Mark D. Jarrell, Chair, Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners. So moved.
Second.
The motion having been made and properly seconded, we'd love to hear from our guests. If you can introduce yourselves, and then we'll take comments from board members.
Absolutely. Greetings to our Board of County Commissioners. My name is Tia Patterson-Poe. I am the Domestic Violence Board Advisory Board Chair. Today I stand with members from the community as well as our Speakers Bureau. I want to just first off share that this month serves as a vital reminder of the importance of raising awareness about teen dating violence. It's a critical issue that's affecting countless young people in our community, and it impacts all gender and can have a devastating effect on lives as well as anyone's well-being. As we reflect on this issue, it is essential to understand that the signs of abuse, and we acknowledge that love should never invoke fear or control. We must challenge the cycle of violence and advocate for those who may be suffering in silence. It's important that we educate ourselves, our communities, our peers, all that surround us as it relates to healthy relationships so that we can empower our youth to know their worth and demand respect in all aspects of their life. Now, I'm going to pass the microphone over to a member of the Domestic Violence Speakers Bureau, Latricia Moore, and she's going to share more with you today.
Does my time start over? No, I only get 3. Start over again. Hi, I'm Latricia Murphy, and I'll be addressing you all from 3 different perspectives. First, I serve our local community as a high school science teacher. This is a career that I find both rewarding and heavy. My service isn't limited to just facilitating the academics of students. Oftentimes, I'm the first one your student comes to confide in when life is overwhelming and hopelessness starts to seep in. I'm also most likely the first one to actually notice a change in your child's behavior. I've had countless experiences with domestic violence amongst teens. My first one was in 2016 when a student came to me relieved that she finally ended her relationship. Unfortunately, her boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend didn't think it's so great. Even though she moved in with her father, he continued to contact her. This young lady had been with her boyfriend, she was at that time 16, since she was 9 and he was 19. Keep in mind, I'm a mandated reporter. I often wonder what happened to her. Now, we've already heard some statistics, and you know who we are, we're members. But this is why it's really important to me, because a lot of times I wonder what would have happened if I had the services that we as members of the Love Speaks Out and Domestic Violence Speakers Bureau provide today. So, finally, I come to you as an actual survivor of domestic violence. You may notice that my voice is a little shaky. I'm yawning, I'm gasping for air right now. I also have to use a microphone when I'm in front of my students. Let me tell you why. On July 28th of 2019, I went to Miami on a girls' trip. I had ended my relationship with my ex, but he decided he wanted to come and do his own boys trip. Well, we all ended up together, and later that evening, into the morning of July 28th, he ended up at my room. Well, at that time, I told him to leave. Well, the next thing I knew, I was jumping up in the air trying to grab my phone from him. During my last jump, he caught me by my neck. And he carried me from my neck to the wall by the restroom, which is over 20 feet. And he actually baked my head and beat me until I was unconscious. When I woke up, he was still there. He eventually left, which is a whole nother story. But when I reported it to the state of Florida, I reported this to not only CMPD, but also the military at Fort Bragg. That was end of July. On August 19th, I received a call while I was on my first day back at school as a teacher. I just had some tests run. And they said, ma'am, we need you to come in and speak to the doctor to discuss your results. The next day on August 20th, I went and got my results. I noticed my surgeon was actually really disturbed. On the 22nd, I went in and had a life-saving surgery. After the surgery, I found out that when they went in, they found that my tissues had died around my cartilage. So I didn't have this little kink in the cartilage of my thyroid. I actually had it fractured. His fingerprint is left inside of me in my doctor's notes today. I had about 7 days to live. That was in 2019. Today, I stand to you with a smile on my face, but with a completely different voice. This didn't just leave me. I understand how important this is, and for young men and women. Every year I have to go and fight to get my restraining order renewed. He was found guilty of felony strangulation in the state of Florida and received a year of probation. Every year I go across there, and I actually have to testify and fight and plead to have my order renewed. I wonder what would have happened if maybe at this age, someone had taught me about healthy communication, setting boundaries, self-confidence, and recognizing red flags. That is why we need this push for teen domestic violence awareness. Thank you. Oh, I can keep talking.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that deeply personal story. Would any of my colleagues like to be heard?
I sit on this advisory board as a liaison, and I want to say that the courage that you women display and the vulnerability that you allow is just miraculous, and it saves lives, never doubt that. People don't understand intimidation until, they're in it. People can intimidate you in various forms. It doesn't have to be always them putting their hands on you. Intimidation is intimidation, and we react to that differently. So all I can say is I'm proud of you. I'm thankful for you. You do an excellent job, Madam Chair, of running the board. And I will do all I can necessary. I was a teacher for 2 years, and I can't even imagine if you weren't there. So I am appreciative. I know you can't reach everybody, but I am very appreciative that you were there. Thank you.
Commissioner Powell?
I'll just say this, I'll just say this. It's hard to read. It's hard to read. It's so courageous of you to share your story. It makes a difference. Thank you for the work you do. It's something that is so important, and if we don't do a better job helping people learn the life skills they need and helping them out of bad situations, I just feel like it's like a top priority for us. Thank you for being here.
Commissioner Dunlap?
Thank you. So let me first start with your chair, whom I have appreciated every time she comes to make a presentation. You do an outstanding job. And your presentation is always on point. And so to you, our speaker, I'm sorry I didn't catch the name.
Latricia Murphy.
Katricia?
Latricia.
Latricia. Okay, Latricia, I'm having voice issues too, but for a different reason. Let me just thank you so much for sharing your story and the manner in which you told it, because I'm sure you noticed you had us all drawn in, and it was because it was powerful. And so if you are sharing that story with others in our community, I can imagine the impact it's going to have on them and the change it will make. So thank you again. And for those who are just a part of the supporting cast, thank you for being here in support of your colleagues.
Commissioner Leek?
Let me say thank you also, having been a high school teacher and understanding and seeing the relationships of middle school to high school, then to college, and then on a job. But as I listened to the proclamation, it said specifically this: to promoting safe and healthy relationships. How do we define those two? What constitute either of those two things? We mix emotions with love, and sometimes we don't understand that. But one thing we have to remember: when people become abusive verbally, they become physically abusive. And the other part to this, it says future-free from abuse, whatever that abuse might be. And sometimes we as young people hide that from our parents. And the other thing, the last word I want to say, that we as a community, as we sit here as representatives of the community, people elect us to sit up here, we must wear orange on February the 10th. That's why I confused you tonight, because you didn't have on your orange. I missed that.
Thank you.
But the main thing was to promote kindness, inclusion, not exclusion, but inclusion, and understanding and support to victims. We must do that. If you know of your classmates or friends, even the males, tell them this is not the way to respond or to act. And those of you who are dating, some of us were not permitted to date during the olden days. You know that. Talk to your parents or your grandparents, and they'll tell you. So remember what they say to you about taking care of yourself, and demand respect. Please do that as young women. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me Vice Chair, to share this. Respect is most important. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Griffin?
Thank you for your presentation. Madam Chair, I was just wondering, you've made several presentations since I've been on this board, and the question I'd had in the back of my mind, because it's two sides to this. Are there men on the Domestic Advisory Council, one, or two? What is your experience, or what can we do to help you to try to figure out how to communicate, or because all of these presentations are just so passionate, but I just wanted to know, what can we do or what can you do to reach out to the other side?
That is a great question, Commissioner Griffin. So yes, there are men that are participating on the board. I believe that's what you were asking. So we do have advocates on our board, very supportive, very active in the community as well. I think in terms of support,
That's for me, not you.
I think in terms of support, it would be great to ensure that we're spreading awareness. You know, as we talked about earlier, healthy relationships, that's a consistent message that I just can't seem to stress enough. And our younger people, as they, start to mature and they're having friendships and relationships, it's really important that they understand, even with same genders, having a healthy relationship. So if we can all do our part with spreading awareness about just healthy relationships, where to set your boundaries, I think a lot of what we're seeing on the back end when it turns into violence, a lot of that could potentially be prevented through being self-aware of what a healthy relationship is and those boundaries. So any way that you can support us in spreading the awareness, whether it's in our schools, through the program that you're a part of, it would just be amazing to continue to keep the word out there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chairman,
Vice Chair.
of course, Chairman Jarrell.
Tia, thank you for your leadership. We appreciate you and what you do. Latricia, thanks for sharing your story. To Commissioner Dunlap's point, it was extremely powerful. And for you all being here, thank you so much. Certainly never let the opportunity go by without shouting out Elise for her work and everything that you do. Elise, I just have to say this and I'm done, but every group that you're a part of, it's always something powerful and impactful. And I want you to know that that doesn't get lost on us, and really appreciate how you lean in and how you show up. Because I've been in places that had a lot of people and you were there, and then I've been in places in different parts of the community that I was surprised to see you at. And you show up the same no matter where you are. And I wanted to let you know how much I appreciate that.
Thank you. All right. I believe at this time we can take a vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. And that is unanimous. And we'd love for you to come down and receive the proclamation and take a picture.
Okay, let's go.
Just tell me to move it. Right. Move it.
Thank you for your work. Yeah, no, you're right. Thank you. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for your work.
You come with an open heart. You open up everybody else.
I worked in a hospital, so I saw.
Thank you so much for supporting.
Thank you so very much.
Really important. You're doing your work. Thank you.
Like you engaged.
Beautiful story. Thank you for sharing. All right, Mr.
Oh, I forgot.
I'm sorry.
All the way back.
All the way back in the middle.
There you go.
Yeah, we don't bite.
Yeah.
At least only each other. Yes.
It's Friday.
All right. So our final proclamation will be read by Chairman Emeritus George Dunlap for Black History Month.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Mecklenburg County, North Carolina proclamation. Whereas since 1976, the month of February has been recognized nationally as Black History Month by every United States president. And whereas Dr. Carter G. Woodson has been credited with obtaining this national recognition through the founding of the Association for the Studies of African American Life and history, and the launching of Negro History Week in February of 1926. And whereas for generations, Black Americans have helped to shape our nation, and Black History Month is the time to honor the contributions and legacy of African Americans across the United States, history, and society. Whereas, as residents are encouraged to celebrate the works of activities, civil rights pioneers, leaders in industry, politics, science, culture, and more, and whereas each year has a specific focus, and the Black History Month 2026 theme is A Century of Black History Commemorations, emphasizing the significant achievement represented by a century of dedicated Black history commemorations. The theme honors how Dr. Carter G. Woodson's concept of Negro History Week has evolved to become an annual, month-long, scholarly, and sustained movement to study, teach, and disseminate Black history. And whereas in Mecklenburg County, we recognize the contributions of Harvey Boyd, designer of the Mecklenburg County Seal, Fred Alexander Sr., the first African-American elected to public office in Mecklenburg County since Reconstruction, and Allegra Westbrook, the first Black supervisor in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Library System. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners do hereby proclaim February 26 as Black History Month in Mecklenburg County and encourages all residents to join us in this special observance. This 4th day of February 2026, signed Mark D. Jarrell, Chair, Mecklenburg Board of County Commission. I move approval, Madam Chair.
Second.
The motion having been moved and properly seconded, I'll start on my right. Would you like to be heard? Okay. Yes,
Oh, for
Commissioner
sure.
Powell.
So I love when we celebrate everyone, but I love when we celebrate local people. And last night I went to the town of Huntersville commissioner meeting, and it was a surprise. But Commissioner Quarles decided to honor Commissioner Rivers because she was the first Black person ever elected in the Huntersville Town Commission. So he had made up his own little proclamation and for Commissioner Rivers, and it was so sweet. And I thought, we should do more of that, you know, like, and it's always good to do like historical figures, but I love like, you know, people that are still alive who have made such a difference, and she was so surprised. So I just wanted to share that because it was very joyful.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Commissioner Dunlap, would you like to make further observations?
I think the words of the proclamation spoke for itself.
Okay. Commissioner Leek?
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I think about the struggles of the people who we talk about, the real struggle that many have gone through, and I can't think about anybody but Fannie Lou Hamer. Fannie Lou Hamer, a woman who fought, a strong Black woman who was not afraid of anybody. And she worked in the fields and got people together to go to Washington for the convention, the Democratic Convention, and she confronted the former president about not allowing Blacks to be represented at the Democratic Convention. But what happened was, it later came that he allowed them to speak. So I follow her methodology of saying, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of pretenders to be what they are. But we must remember that there's a history of Martin Luther King that I can't get out of my thought process. I can remember the time when people hated Martin Luther King, did not want to be associated with Martin Luther King. But today we celebrate his name and the things that he did and tried to project for the community and for the people. These same people put him in jail, locked him up. But yet today there are those who want to talk about what a wonderful person he was. He was a wonderful person then. He was a strong young man. But one thing about it, he was an educated young man. And his family sacrificed for the betterment of our people. Civil rights movement, I remember that, and I'm almost reliving that all over again with some people. So I had to say that, but I'll make a speech at a later date.
Commissioner Griffin.
Yeah, I'll just pull up my phone. I'll show it to my chair here. Of the first African Americans that were police officers in Charlotte by Chief, I think his name was Little John. But I also want to congratulate my colleagues for your leadership with the historic properties purchase several months ago of the Kelly M. Alexander home on Senior Drive. Kelly and Fred in the proclamation was read by Commissioner Dunlap mentioned Fred Alexander. He was a 1924 graduate of Second Ward High School, by the way, but lived right next door to Kelly Alexander, who was a two-time national president of the NAACP. There's just so much African-American history locally here that I'm just glad that the county is making some of that history alive and well for youngsters to appreciate and grow from. So thank you, colleagues, for that.
Thanks. So it's always interesting that, we carve out this month of February to highlight Black history. And I'm really proud of the fact that, one, I love what Edwin did in Huntersville, Commissioner Qualls. But I'm also proud of the fact that I never take it for granted having the opportunity I have to sit here. I think I've highlighted it many times. I don't wait till February. And we as a board don't wait till February to lift up achievements of people in the community or lift up the history makers and accomplishments of people of color and Black people in particular as we go through our business. And so I appreciate each and every one of you. I think I won't go through this, but I've said it to the history makers on this board, how much I appreciate them and their service and their leadership and what they meant, because someone had to be the first. Someone had to open the door that allowed all of us to walk through and continue to allow us to walk through. That's right. And I'm always mindful of that every time we sit at this sacred desk. So thank you, Madam Vice Chair.
Oh, yes, sir.
Just to follow up, when my chairman was speaking, I wrote down the name Roe Motley, 1972, the first African-American elected to this board.
I participated in that voting process.
Wow, we're very fortunate to have commissioners who can bring forward the history of African-American leaders and trailblazers right here in Charlotte, Mecklenburg, of whom there are so many. And I just want to lift up one that is particularly a dear friend and mentor to me, the late, great Judge Shirley Fulton, who was the first Black female Superior Court judge in the state of North Carolina. That's right. And I was thinking about her because I was at Community Matters Cafe, and whenever she and I would get together, that's where she had me meet her. And her legacy, carries on in so many ways. So anyway, it is a joyful. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I passed earlier, but I really don't want to let the occasion go by without saying that I'm really proud to serve on a board that is majority African American, and that's not lost on me. And another thing that I really feel compelled to mention is the story that I heard about our current federal administration that is stripping from history, from places of history, true Black history from the walls of monuments and from places in D.C. that, in my view, is just completely despicable and appalling.
Yeah.
So this is all happening at one time.
Well said.
Thank you.
Question the voting process.
Well, everyone having been heard, If we can now take a vote, all those in favor, raise your right hand. And that is unanimous. All right, Mr. Chairman, I return the gavel to you.
All right, thank you, Madam Vice Chair. This time, there are no public appearance, folks, so we'll move right into appointments. And the first appointment is Central Piedmont Community College Board of Trustees. Appointment is needed on the CPCC Board of Trustees to fill one unexpired term expiring June 30th, 2028. I'm going to call on the Vice Chair who chaired the ad hoc interview committee.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We conducted our interviews. One of the candidates needed to end up withdrawing their name for a health issue. We were fortunate to have two other really strong candidates, and we ultimately had a majority vote for Janet Labar. So at this time, I would make a motion for her to be appointed to the CPCC Board of Trustees.
Second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous, Madam Clerk. And so congratulations to Janet Labar on your appointment. Next item are appointments for the Stormwater Advisory Committee. An appointment is needed on the Stormwater Advisory Committee to fill one 3-year term expiring June 30th, 2029. It's the financial legal representative slot. Eric Bukovac is the only applicant and is eligible for reappointment. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any in readiness? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That is unanimous, Madam Clerk. There is nothing on tonight's manager's report, team, and so right now there's also no pulled items on consent, but is there a motion to approve? Well,
So moved.
second, yeah.
Approve what?
Is there a motion to approve those items not pulled from consent?
So
And
moved.
that's
Thank
actually
you.
all.
Moved and properly.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Let's go to commissioner reports. If you have a report, let me see by show of hands, please, if you got a report. Mr. Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be real quick. We had a phenomenal retreat last week, and we talked a lot about workforce development and upward mobility. I put at your places a post-2017 report. I'd ask you to look at page 34 in the very last page. The phenomenal staff of Mecklenburg County indicated that the growing inequality was a potential risk for reaching out to others than local residents for some of these great jobs coming in. And some of those related issues were to address housing instability, affordable housing, just a reluctance to train local workers, all the things that we talked about last week. I just give a shout out to our staff that had the vision and the common sense and intelligence to look at the implications for what we were doing back then. The very last page is the Chetty study. We talked about moving from 50 to 38. I just want you to just look at the income levels. These are 2 generations, not one. These are 2 generations. And African Americans still lag behind as performing the worst. So I'm sort of like Kunta Kinte. I am going to be like, I guess, Fannie Lou Hamer. I'm going to always fight to make sure we improve the opportunities and access for success for all of our residents, but particularly those who historically, since we talked about Black History Month, who historically have been left behind. So I just appreciate colleagues to take a look at it, and I'll remind you at our next meeting a little bit more about workforce development and upward mobility. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Powell.
And, you know, when everybody's talking about different people that they celebrate during Black History Month, I can't help but remember Dr. Gorman Brown. And so she was a huge influence in my life. She did so much good. And I think she was the first Black doctor to work at Carolinas Medical Center. I'll look it up, but I just couldn't let the day go by without saying something about her, because she was just so beautiful, like inside and out. And the other thing is, you know, Commissioner Griffin says he's never going to miss an opportunity to talk about his intentionality. Well, I'm never going to miss an opportunity to talk about environmental stewardship, because when you see, like, you have seen the map, but when I listened to the rezoning proposals last night around the red line and other areas, I am worried. I am worried for the future. Like, all elected leaders have to pay attention to the environment, and if you don't know the answer, like, ask the question, because there was a proposal last night to build on top of wetlands and perennial streams, and I'm just like, what are we doing? The fact that somebody would even propose that. And so, you know, we just, as we have experienced this explosive growth, we need to have the mindfulness to always ask more about, and wherever we are, you know, like, we have this great applicant for Stormwater Advisory Council. He's awesome. But I also want him to have an environmental focus when he's asking questions, not just a financial focus. And so I just wanted to speak to that. Thank you.
Great point. Commissioner Lee.
Thank you. I want to add to what she's saying about clean air. You drive through the community where black people are, or poor people, junkyards, cars and trucks are sitting there, and we're smelling the fumes. I keep asking about this every year. What are we saying when we talk about those communities that have to suffer that process? But yet we hear reports about clean air, we're doing something about it, we want to do something. The basic neighborhoods, Root Hills Elementary School sits right there in the heart of it on Statesville Avenue. And nothing is done about it. Not one earthly thing. So I hope that with this will draw the attention to the general public to make sure we look beyond small areas, but look at the communities and neighborhoods where people live every day and smell those fumes. So thank you.
Thank you. Other commissioners? All right, I just wanted to take a quick second to say, let the community know that we finished our board retreat. I thought it was a great gathering for us to go deeper into issues. Mr. Manager and staff, I just want to say thank you all for the work that you all put into it. Colleagues, I was really inspired by a lot of the comments and the questions. I always appreciate when we can really push and challenge each other and continue to maintain a level of professionalism and respect that the community deserves. And so I'll always continue as chairman to ask us to, where we are misaligned or where we do disagree, to always remember we're all trying to strive for the same outcome. We have different pathways, we have different life experiences that shape how we view things. But at the end of the day, the North Star, as I said before, should always be, and with this board, I'm just really encouraged that it always is, the people of Mecklenburg County and doing the right thing. And so as long as we continue to do that, I think we'll continue to deliver the results. And each person's passion, each person's lens contributes to this board, but we always need to maintain a high level of respect for one another. Okay, we don't have to co-sign and agree, but we need to be respectful. And so I appreciate that. And the last thing I would say is it was really cool that we came out of that with a new nickname for Michael Griswold. The Grizz. And so
you know you've arrived.
You know you've arrived. And so with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.